Oh, I have an appetite for background checks. We're going to be doing background checks. We're working with Democrats. We're working with Republicans. We already have very strong background checks, but we're going to be filling in some of the loopholes, as we call them, at the border. And speaking about at the border, it would be really nice if the Democrats would indeed fix the loopholes, because it would be really nice. But I had a great talk with Wayne yesterday. Didn't say anything about that. We just talked about concepts. Wayne agrees things have to be done also. And we have areas where we can close. And for instance, we did fix NICS last time. We have a lot of background checks right now. Gun owners can tell you that, others can tell you that. But there are certain weaknesses. We want to fix the weaknesses. Donald Trump directly. Pretty good. And I would take their call too. Was the only one that called. What we're doing is, I want guns to be in the hands of people that are mentally stable. And those people, I want them to easily be able to get a gun. But people that are insane, people that are sick up here, I don't want them to be able to get a gun.
So in the background, you're focused on mental health issues.
Yeah.
And with guns and
mental health, very important.
But other countries have
We're working on background checks. There are things we can do, but we already have very serious background checks. We have strong background checks. We can close up the gaps. We can do things that are very good and things that, frankly, gun owners want to have done. But we also have to remember the gun doesn't pull the trigger, a person does, and we have great mental illness. The call, I was right, and just about everybody admits that. I was right, he did. We have background checks, but there are loopholes in the background checks, and that's what I spoke to the NRA about yesterday. They want to get rid of the loopholes as well as I do. At the same time, I don't want to take away people's Second Amendment rights. I don't want to take away the Constitution having to do with gun ownership. And you know, we can't let that slope go so easy that we're talking about background checks, then all of a sudden we're talking about, let's take everybody's gun away. People need weapons, unfortunately, for protection. Checks. We're working with Democrats. We're working with Republicans. We already have to approve one thing, then another thing, then another thing. Then all of a sudden you're on that slope, and all of a sudden nobody has any legal protection. We have a Second Amendment. Let me just tell you this. We have a Second Amendment, and our Second Amendment will remain strong. There's a history of our country. Now, in one way, I'm honored by that, but in another way, it makes it. So the economy is doing very, very well. We'll see what happens with the Federal Reserve, whether or not they finally get smart and reduce interest rates like many other places around the world that we have to compete with. But our economy is the strongest in the world by far, nothing even close. And a lot of good things are happening. You're not doing any tax cuts at all at this time? I think we have a very strong economy. I just don't see any. No, I don't demand it, but if he used his head, he would lower them. In Germany, they have a zero interest rate, and we do compete. We're much stronger than Germany, but we do compete with Germany. In Germany, they have zero interest rate, and when they borrow money, I mean, when you look at what happens, look at what's going on over there. They borrow money, they actually get paid to borrow money, and we have to compete with that. Very late and very early. They were very early to raise, and they're very... if you look at what's happening around the world, Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve have totally missed the call. I was right, and just about everybody admits that. I was right. He did quantitative tightening. He shouldn't have done that. He raised interest rates too fast, too furious, and we have a normalized rate. You call it that. And now we have to go the other direction. We'll see if he does it. If he does it, you'll see a rocket ship. You'll see a boom. If he does it, we have a very strong economy.